Okay, students, welcome back. In this part of lecture, I'm going to discuss a few cases which actually constitute the genocides and mass murder of the ethnicity of or any group, and those cases has been prosecuted. And thereafter, I will conclude my today's lecture. So, in this part, students, and the cases which are related with the genocide. Number one, Rwanda genocide. The Rwandan genocide was occurred in the 1994, which was the mass killing of the hundreds of the thousands of the Rwanda's Tutsis and Hutu political moderates by Hutu under the Hutu power ideology over the course of the approximately 100 days from the assassination of the General Mana on in the April or mid-July, at least 5 lakh people were killed. Most estimates indicate a death toll between 8 lakh to 10 lakh, which could be as high as 20% of the total population. In 1990, the Rwandan Patriotic Front (RPF), a rebel group composed mostly of Tutsi refugees, invaded northern Rwanda from the Uganda. Rwandan civil war fought between the Hutu region with support from the francophone nations of the Africa and France itself, and the RPF with support from the Uganda vastly increased the ethnic tension in the country and led to the rise of the Hutu power and ideology that stressed that the Tutsi intended to enslave Hutus and thus must be resisted at all costs. Despite ongoing ethnic tension, including the displacement of the large number of the Hutu in the north by the rebels and periodic localized ethnic cleansing of the Tutsi to the south, pressure on the government of the Juvenile led to the ceasefire in 1993 and the preliminary implementation of the Arusha Accords. The assassination of the Habari Mama in April 94 was approximate cause of the mass killing of the Tutsis and pro-peace Hutus. It was carried out preliminarily by two Hutu militias associated with the political parties, the Interhamwe and the Impu Zamabi. The genocide was directed by the Hutu power group known as the. And next case of the students Bosnia genocide. In the Republic of Bosnia Herzegovina, a conflict between the three main ethnic groups, the Serbs, Croatians, and Muslims, resulted in the genocide committed by the Serbs against the Bosnian Muslims. In the late 1980s, Serbian named Slobodan Milosevic came to power in 1992. Acts of the ethnic cleansing started in Bosnia, a mostly Muslim country where the Serbs minority made up only 32% of the population. Milosevic responded to Bosnia's declaration of independence by attacking Sarajevo, where Serbs snipers shoot down civilians. Bosnian Muslims were outgunned and the Serbs continued to gain ground. They systematically rounded up local Muslims and committed acts of mass murder, deported men and boys to concentration camps, and forced repopulation of the entire towns. Serbs also terrorized Muslim families by using rape as a weapon against the women and girls. Over 2 lakh Muslim civilians were systematically murdered and millions of the became refugees at the hands of the Serbs. In 2001, the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia judged that the 1995 Srebrenica massacre was an act of the genocide. In February 2007, the International Court of Justice in the Bosnian genocide case upheld the ISTY's earlier finding that the Srebrenica massacre continued genocide, but found that the Serbian government had not participated in a wider genocide on the territory of the Bosnia and Herzegovina during that the war, as the Bosnian government had claimed. So, student, genocide is on the heinous crime against the human being. Genocide is a crime on a different scale to all other crimes against humanity and implies an intention to the completely exterminate the chosen group. Genocide is therefore both the gravest and the greatest of the crimes against humanity. In the same way as in a case of homicide, the natural right of the individual to exist is implied. So, in the case of the genocide as a crime, the principle that any national, racial, or religious group has a natural right to exist is clearly evident. Attempts to eliminate such groups violate this right to exist and to develop within the international community. A genocide is a conspiracy aimed at the total destruction of a group and therefore requires a concerted plan of the action. The instigators and initiators of genocide are poor-minded theorists first and barbarians only second. The specificity of the genocide does not arise from the extent of the killings nor their savagery or resulting infamy, but solely from the intention, the destruction of the group. So strict action and laws should be made against the genocide. The punishment should be deterrent. So I hope this lecture, students, make you understand the crime of genocide and the laws regarding the because that is the only offense. We have a separate convention which we call the Genocide Convention, and thereafter a lot of scholars definition we have discussed in lecture, the elements and the historical background. So finally, students, the genocide, which is the heinous crime against the human being, which not only uh, mass murder of the any group of the population, but also this crime shock of the our minds not only but uh, minds of the public at large who are living in the different part of the country or part of the globe. Thank you very much.